Hey guys!
What is
Give me two.
up?
Hey guys, welcome back
to Confused as You Are. I'm Ella,
I'm Matt.
and we are joined by the most specialist guest. I have two cousins on the show right now, Matt, who is my 9th cousin, and Max, who is actually my first cousin. First place and 9th place. Yeah. Welcome, Max. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm very nervous, but also very excited. This is gonna be good, man.
We can't wait.
Yeah, there's all 16 people.
All 16 people have been waiting for your arrival.
Oh yeah.
Just quaking right now.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What are you doing? Who are you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so I'm from Nova Scotia. I was born in Edmonton here, but I was raised in Nova Scotia. I moved out here pretty recently. I guess about a year ago now. I lived here about a year, so I moved out here for school. I'm in the Bachelor of Arts program at Grant MacEwan.
Nice.
I am big into music. I play guitar.
He sings too.
I sing a little bit.
You're really advertising.
I'm just a big fan of Max.
Oh, I'm a big fan of you guys too, man. You guys rock. I've been getting into triathlon stuff.
Ooh.
So I want to train for like a half Ironman too.
Okay.
So maybe beginning of next spring maybe. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
And yeah, I got 4 siblings. One's in Germany, married to a German there. Simon, shout out to Simon, you the man.
Shout out, Simon.
Freaking love you.
We're gonna have so many listeners.
Yeah.
Can you keep on shouting?
Just like
Yeah. And then I got my another sister's here in Edmonton, and then my youngest sister and my younger brother. They're both here as well. My parents are still in Nova Scotia, and yeah, looking at maybe trying to become a psychiatric nurse come next fall. At least starting that program, and yeah, it's pretty about what's going on right now. So,
all right, awesome. Me and Matt have been talking about having you on this since we started it 5 weeks ago. Yeah. When we wrote our guest list,
That's
you
awesome.
were like second. Simon Allison was first.
Yeah, shout out Simon Allison. Hashtag maybe next time.
He's gonna be so mad that
everyone
isn't about him.
Everyone who listens to this that can text Simon Allison, text him.
Please text him and say,
please next time.
Hey, you weren't on the pod.
Yeah.
I miss you, Simon. I'll see you at home.
Also his roommate. Yeah. All right. Well, Max, what are we talking about today? What wisdom are we expounding on?
That is a great question. We are going to expound on the wisdom of empathy. Understanding people in general.
We need like some sound effects, like
whoosh.
Okay, awesome. What made you choose this topic?
That's a good question. So I think it was in my psychology, my sociology class today. We were talking about how I think approaching sensitive topics and approaching different ideas and opposing viewpoints. And we were talking about these two different models that we can use to approach certain subjects and certain ideas. And the model 1, I believe, was basically like if you're in a group of people and you maybe don't know much about what they're speaking about, or just whatever, like maybe it's addiction recovery program and you're not addicted to anything like that, and you just don't know what's going on, so you can't really disagree, or you can agree. But the model 1, regardless, is just to sit back, listen, validate their viewpoints, and to express your interest. And model 2 is I think the example that my sociology professor gave was that if you're in like a meeting with a group of neo-Nazis.
Oh my god! You took that from 1 to like 100.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So did he.
That was a jump.
Everyone's awake right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you're in a meeting with a group of neo-Nazis, like you're not really, unless you feel like your life is threatened, you're not exactly gonna just stand by idly and let kind of their rhetoric or whatever they're speaking continue to go on. Right. So model number 2 is basically have factual arguments and to not use fallacious arguments, and logical fallacies, and just be as fact-based as you possibly can, with maybe some emotions tied to that. Anyways, he just asked the question. He asked the class. He's like, is there any kind of other ways that you can other models that you guys think of that we can use to approach sensitive topics and approach these discussions with people. And I kind of raised my hand and I was like, well, like I think in a way, I think one beneficial model you could use is kind of you could combine both of those, and you could essentially, at least I think it's important to acknowledge what the other person is saying, your opponent or your friend or whatever, acknowledge what they're saying, and summarize kind of their stance on things, whatever the argument is, and point out a couple of things that you really liked about their argument, a couple of things that they said that you found value in, and then state your point and be like, hey, like this is where I'm coming from, and these are kind of this is my stance, because that way I think it really helps the other person or the group or the organization to feel heard and to feel understood and valued, and then they're much more willing to be like
to take in.
Like, it's like a sandwich
they'll
compliment.
sponge in more.
Totally. Yeah. They're much more willing to be receptive to your viewpoint and your perspective. Yeah. 100%. And I just always, I think, very much believed in this idea and principle of like, seek first to be seek first to understand and then to be understood. Makes you think of like, I don't know if you guys ever read the what is it, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. It's like one of my favorite books.
Teens?
Well, teens. I read that as a kid. I would love to read the adult one though too, because I'm sure that was just as good. But
shout out the writer of
Stephen R. Covey, I think.
Stephen R. Covey.
I think.
Follow.
So anyway, so that was kind of what brought up, I think, just that in my mind.
That also,
That's cool.
anyway, that's like very Christ-like.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
totally.
Like, and that's something that maybe like was repeated on my mission a lot. There's this one elder that would always just be like, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And
absolutely.
it's like, anyway, just that idea that like, well, I don't know. I guess like kind of more applying this to like young single adults. I feel like a lot of us are in a stage where we're like trying to find out a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so how, I guess, in your mind, does empathy play a role in like finding yourself? Like being able to, I guess, have these skills to understand others. Maybe that doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not sure. Like, maybe try to explain it. I think I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
Like so, so like, there's a lot of people that like want to be understood.
Yeah.
But then like I feel like because people are trying to find themselves, they don't. Their first step isn't empathy.
Yes.
They're like,
okay.
They're like, oh, like, well, what I think is this. So.
Like kind of getting their foot in the door.
Yeah. Like
for fear of like being just shut out of the house.
And they want that opinion to be concrete. So they initially don't go for like, oh well, I'll try to understand where they're coming from and then explain my point. It's more of like a lot of people, especially like in my class, are like, well, what about this? And they just very like, and it's like,
whoa, okay.
And it's like very aggressive and very confrontational because they're like, I don't know, like, and they seem very like secure in this belief, but it's like, if you were to go the factual route, you would like ruin their day. Like I've seen like kids raise their hands in class and say something, and then like the professor like shuts it down. Yeah. And then they are outside of the class like, well, I just can't believe that he said that to, and like, like, so I guess like what I'm really asking is like, what's like a healthier way to do that as you're still developing? Because you've said like the models and stuff, and like,
totally,
that's good advice.
Yeah. So it sounds like kind of what you're saying is like, what are more profitable ways to kind of almost find yourself in the discussion with other people. Is that kind of what you're saying? Yeah. In a way, maybe. Yeah, or at least have empathy when we're all so unsure at our age group. Yeah. Is that kind of more? Yeah, that seems more where you're
even though I feel like a lot of us maybe aren't even like aware that we aren't. Very empathetic.
Yeah.
I think that lack of self-awareness is what leads maybe to the need for that.
Or I'm just yapping.
I love the yapping part too, man. That's just as good. Yeah. No, totally.
Sounds like an answer.
No, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think like if I'm understanding exactly kind of what you're saying, I think, I mean, first of all, I feel like it's really hard to have empathy in the first place, but especially in our age group where we just have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
At least I feel like, at least for me, like half the time, I'm like, you know, I'll be confident in one thing, and the next day I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just so, you know, especially in your 20s, like there's just things are changing all the time.
Yeah.
And the world is changing all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's really hard to have confidence in yourself, and but not also be insecure, like not be willing to be malleable within that confidence, if that makes sense. So I don't know, Matt, that's good. That's a good question. Like I feel like for me, at least, you talk about, you know, Christ and that example of like just being empathetic and you know, seeking to understand. I feel like part of your question was kind of like, how do we develop those skills too to do that as well? Yeah.
Maybe like, not to throw like another word into
No, totally.
word salad that I just served, but like, I've been thinking a lot about like, what are my like what am I predisposed to do?
Totally.
Like, what's like my first reaction to things?
Yeah.
So
like developing, and I guess like to frame it even just like it is Christ-like to be empathetic. How do you get that, like, or I guess how would you maybe suggest that we just like turn outwards when we're faced with like the inclination to turn inwards?
Totally. So maybe the more the question is like how do you acquire those skills? In order to
like how do you apply those models?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe that's what I should just set out.
Yeah, no, that's totally okay. That was awesome.
6 minutes ago.
100%. You're totally good, Matt.
But we found it.
Exactly, we got it.
I feel like that was almost like a structure of how to have these conversations. You know, like
interesting.
There you go. So, we just set the example.
So listen to it back. Listen to it back, and you
Did
just
they plan this?
Guy brain. Guy brain.
Guy brain. That's why I was so lost the entire
Yeah. I was like, what's happening?
Quietly, like, what is happening?
That was awesome. I love it.
Anyway, now that we've arrived.
That is also an excellent question, because I feel like, I don't know. I think, I mean, I'll just speak a thing personally here. I think for most of my life, I think I've felt, you know, I think a lot of us feel like we're the underdogs in one sense and the other. And for a lot of my life, I've just dealt with a ton of like pretty crippling anxiety, and I don't even like. Sometimes I struggle with using that phrasing, because I'm like, you know, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't great growing up. But I think for me, for whatever reason, because of the pain that I experienced with all of that, I think I really just had a strong desire to, and I'm not perfect by any like.
He's really close.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate it, but it really, I think it just gave me perspective to want that pain to not happen to other people, but also I think if it is, to be able to help them, right? And I think I don't know why, but like I feel like we all think that we're so isolated in our experience when we're really not. Sometimes there's definitely a spectrum where like one person's here, another person's here. Like there can be extremes. But I think for the majority, I think if we reach out and if we just talk to people, so they're actually a lot more like-minded and a lot of maybe like experience than we think. That makes sense. So and you know, long story short, to answer your question, I feel like it's helpful to maybe just get curious. And just to be like, huh, like I wonder.
Be your brother's keeper a little bit.
Totally, like not that you
overbearing,
totally not overbearing it, but also just because you're getting curious doesn't mean that your viewpoints are wrong, or that you're not allowed to have them just because you're exploring. But just maybe for the sake of like I wonder why they think that, and I wonder why they feel like, what is their experience. Right. And then the more that you do that, I feel like the more empathy you'll have. Like you're not going to have this overabundance of empathy right away, but I think it's just I think it's in the small things. I think it's in curiosity, and I think it's in patience.
That is
So
such a good.
I don't know if that
No,
actually
I
answers
love-
your
like
question,
really, it's like
I
but
love what you're saying there because it is so. Like it's the simple principles like that. Like literally just get curious that really
Yeah.
build into something beautiful.
Mhm.
I love what you said about like realizing how we're not as isolated as
Yeah.
we think we are. Like literally today, I was standing at the transit station waiting, and this guy came up to me and he just looked so lost, and he's like, "Is an A train coming here?" And it was just so funny to me to be able to help him because literally like 5 weeks ago, I think I had the exact same conversation with someone else.
Yeah.
And it was just cool to look at him and just to have like that moment of like clarity where you just look at this 45-year-old Indian
Yeah.
man and I'm like, he's just like this little Caucasian boy.
Yeah.
But I love what you say about like seeing people and seeing them truly because I think we really are just like reflections of each other, right?
Totally.
Like
Yeah.
when I look at you and I try and see myself in you,
Mhm.
there's so much, you know, because
Yeah.
we're so similar. Not just saying me and Max, but me, anyone. Max
Yeah.
just happens to sit across from me.
So,
And then the more that we allow ourselves to see and to see those reflections, the deeper our reflections. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
yeah.
Like the deeper you reflect, the more that you can be reflected and to see and to empathize with others.
Mhm.
Anyway, I just love your point. Yeah.
Thanks.
Very cool.
Yeah. I also anyway, same exact point of just like I've been thinking a lot about like there's some things that we just go through in life. And in the church, I feel like academia has like their terms for it, and
Mhm.
I've been really reading a lot about it. But in the church, we would just call it like the moral experience.
Mhm.
And I don't know. There's like the whole meme word like the canon events.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I came from like Spider-Man into
Yeah,
the Spider-Verse, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at
We're
that.
learning. Yeah.
Hey.
Guy
that down.
brain.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, like there's just like a marriage only matters because people have been married before. Friendship only matters because people have formed friendships before. So the fact that we're repeating it
Yeah.
doesn't make it less special. It just
Mhm.
is like it's part of the collective
Yeah.
society, and I think that's like really cool that you can like personalize these things, but they
Totally.
also connect us. So like just
Yeah.
because you have yours
Mhm.
doesn't mean they can't have theirs.
Yeah.
And I think that a big thing is like agency, and that being tied to empathy,
Mm.
because it's
Interesting.
like
Yeah.
you do have to like choose to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't know, like it's not something that just happens.
So it's interesting.
Obviously.
So yeah. So you're kind of saying that. Sorry, if I can interrupt you for a
No,
second.
go ahead.
So you're saying that because we all get to choose something, there's already empathy kind of embodied in that, where like we all because we're all agents of choice, maybe like we already can have empathy for the choice that happened. Is that kind of what you mean? Like maybe not.
So okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like
Can I take a stab at
yeah,
it?
take a stab.
First off, I would I think we should go into that thought of like the pre-inclination to empathy just by even having interest in that. I know when you were talking about it, reminded me of something I learned a while ago that I love about like emotion. And correct me if this is not at all what you're trying to say, but just like the very fact that we have these emotions, because emotions are what control us, like right, like it's what brings us to anything, and you don't have empathy for someone unless you have like an emotion that causes you to need to have it. But the root of the word emotion is motion. Motion is
Cool.
action.
Yeah.
I just love
Yeah.
And that's why emotions are so big, is because it drives us to action.
Yeah.
Just having the opportunity to have empathy, which is that emotion, means that there has to be an action accompanying it. Otherwise, it's not really an emotion. It's empty without that.
Yeah, I like that.
Motion, that action.
Yeah. And kind of what you were saying about like empathy being built into these experiences, like these things that we can go through. It's like I think that the important thing is that we choose to see it that way. If that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I think that like people are
Yeah.
naturally like possessive of their friends and their people and their
For
whatever.
sure.
But everyone has that.
Yes.
Everyone, but like, so then being like, oh well, why is this? And to use like maybe an example that like is a little crazy and will wake everyone up.
Yeah.
But like, there's a reason why a neo-Nazi thinks that way.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
You don't have to
Which is
agree with that.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, we
I
were
saw
listening.
the local communist party setting up that Nate trying to.
Yeah.
I was like,
Nice.
I wish I didn't have left. I want to go be like,
One,
tell me how you think.
and
I'm
there's
so
some-
concerned.
100%.
and there's some people,
Yeah.
yeah, there's some people, and we get that like
Mhm.
natural man, like tribal defensive, like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
totally.
this is a threat to
Yeah.
my people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's like in
doesn't
their
have to be
space,
that
like
way.
you don't have to. And I think that that's like really the most Christ-like thing is
Mhm.
like he had enemies, but he didn't choose them. Like I feel like they more chose him. Like he's like,
Yeah,
we can
for sure. We can
it's like-
coexist.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
He's like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And there's a place for you in this. And if you're like,
But can
Anyway.
I build off
Yeah,
that though?
I
Because-
love what you're saying though, man. I think that's a really good point.
And I agree with a lot of what you said, but also just thinking about Christ, like he did it so well. Like with the people who were his enemies, like
Oh,
he
yeah.
like prayed for them on the cross.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, forgive them.
yeah, no, actually,
But
yeah.
at the same, so I totally agree with you saying. But at the same time, like he was very firm and like like he drove the people out of the temple. He cursed the fig tree, like with things that
Yeah.
that were not
But-
in line. He didn't have that.
Well, so can I point out a key fact? I've been thinking a lot about this.
Yeah, please.
So
And then I'll finish my thought.
he was very sorry. He was very aggressive, like maybe not aggressive, but like
He's assertive.
but those are
Yeah.
assertive, but like
assertive is a
in
good word.
his circle.
Yes. Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
we
go-
are on the same page.
Yeah, we're on. the
Yeah.
same
So what I
page.
was gonna say and what I kind of wanted to bring the conversation to, especially with our audience and what we are, thinking about empathy for people who are kind of like struggling in the church or outside of the church, like because it is so passionate and so deep for us.
Yeah.
What are some ways that we can have that empathy along with something that is so deep and so personal and rooted? Because like you said, like we all have that tribalistic instinct.
Yeah.
Just bringing it to like a very specific example now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a good question. Yeah. Do you want to hit on that first, Matt?
Kind of struggled with. Not how,
I've
I
just,
don't
like-
hate anyone who's not outside the church, but just
I was like,
a lot,
no.
just like absolutely
I think that you're
but
exactly
you know,
right.
like just like
Yeah.
knowing, I feel like it's kind of taboo sometimes. It's been better of just, I feel like a lot of times when we talk about it, it's like, wow,
I think that
make them cookies.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best
Well,
way to
yeah.
go about it.
President Nelson, I think that like even what you guys were saying is like just spend time with him. Like be
Mhm.
curious. Like I have a
Mhm.
friend, I probably should text him back. He's like, what's your
That's me every day. Dude. My
Yeah.
best buddies. I just like
Yeah.
they'll text me like 2 weeks
I'm like,
later. I'm like,
okay.
oh hey.
Yeah.
I got
Anyways.
a fun grandma, actually.
Oh no.
It's like
no.
it's
Yeah.
like how's your week looking? It's like, well, last week when you asked.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Was
A
kinda
month
busy.
ago.
It's like,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
actually a really hard week. I knew.
Yeah.
But like him and I do not see eye to eye on some stuff. Like
Mhm.
we just met. We're only friends because like we were in the same class.
Yeah.
whatever.
Cool, man.
But like, just like, I don't know. I feel like maybe when we, how do I put this? To be empathetic, you don't get anything out of it. You just are
Mm.
empathetic.
It's yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Excellent
not
thought.
being
Yeah.
like I'm not being this guy's friend because I'm trying to bring him into my
No, he's
circle.
Yeah.
He's not-
absolutely.
There's no like
into the
ultimate
church,
agenda.
No, there's no
whatever.
agenda.
Yeah, there's no
Totally.
agenda to empathy,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
I think is why we have a lot of problem with it
Mhm.
because
Oh, that's so
we're
good.
told
I love that.
from the
Yeah.
pulpit, right? Like
Yeah.
these are the Christ-like attributes. You should develop these.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh well, the reward for doing that is like building
Like
Zion.
we go into it
And
with
it's
a
like-
transactional mindset
Yeah.
where it's
Mm.
not. It's
Where it's
service,
like,
which
well,
isn't transactional.
what builds Zion more than just another baptism? Which not is to say like if you want to come in, please come in.
Yeah, we're not anti-baptism.
But like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
change that'll happen in you in doing that for no reward will make
Mhm.
the church
it's
a better
like that
place.
scripture: if you have charity, you're nothing.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't want to do these things
Yeah.
without a
And the
reward,
change
you're not
that
really
happens-
gaining anything.
The change that happens in you
Mhm.
is like way more important than like,
Totally.
the
Yep.
the numerical increase in
Absolutely,
whatever.
man.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
yeah.
One-
The check mark.
Know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
Sure.
No, man. I think that's crucial, and that's something I think I've always believed in terms of like just doing what is right for the sake of it being right.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter whether like, I mean, yeah, like in the sense that it would be great if someone participates in this, able to find love for Christ and all of that, and then that's fantastic.
Mhm.
But that's not the reason you're doing it. right? And you're doing it because you're a believer in Christ and you want to follow His example, and that is right. Or to have empathy for your brothers and sisters, even outside of that, is right.
Yeah.
Right. And I just think it's a beautiful thought. I really, really like that. It sounds like, Ella, you kind of had a bit of a, like, you're kind of going into it sounds like something you maybe you thought about a lot, or that you struggle with in terms of like maybe explain. No, not the empathy. Sorry, the point you said earlier in terms of like people outside of the church and maybe a little marginalized. Like what? Like maybe elaborate on that a little more.
I think basically what we were talking about, like I think Matt nailed it on the head of where I think something that I struggle with. I mean, I feel it, and I feel like especially just like as a soccer on the church is kind of that you go into it with like an idea. Like when I do my ministering, it's like, oh well, if they don't come to church on Sunday, or like if they don't answer the door, then it doesn't really count, and it's not worth it.
So you feel like that's what you struggle with, maybe with the narrative, or a cultural narrative like within the church.
Because I don't feel that in my heart. In my heart, I'm
100%.
I love this person. I don't know this well, but I want to. But I do struggle with feeling like, oh well, it's not worth it if something doesn't happen.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is why I like the
shout out the elders of Garno YSA. I'm about to.
I have listening to the
podcast. I have a ministering story. There's this guy.
Let's get me on the Gospel Library app so you can listen to this.
Sorry, so find it right alongside their
This is like a while ago.
Spotify.
Me and my ministering companion, I won't name names, but like we went to go visit. Just like everyone has like at least one like less active brother to like just reach out to, try to like, I don't know, not necessarily even be their friend, but just be like, hey, like, you need anything? And so we decided to take this brother who like hadn't, like, I haven't seen the white of his eyes, but we decided to like buy him Krispy Kreme and like take him donuts.
Cool, that's awesome, man. Nice.
It's the middle of winter, so me and this guy, we're driving in my crappy Kia Soul.
Nice. Respect.
Just like going and like, but just like the experience of going and doing that, and then getting to the door, and like we've been sliding on ice the whole night. Like it's been a crazy time. We had to drive through like downtown Edmonton where there's 2 feet of snow on the ground.
That's right.
And then we get to the door and we're like, and his mom answers is like, yeah, you guys just missed him. And we're like, oh my god,
all that.
And then we gave him the donuts, and we're like, hey, like we don't even get to meet this guy.
Yeah.
But then my companion got like a text from him and was just like, oh, thank you, that was like so nice. Like, you guys didn't have to do that.
Cool, man.
Like, yeah, sweet. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, that experience. First of all, it was like kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like going out of your way,
it's a bit of an adventure.
Going out of your way to do something nice, like to kind of have like a mission and a goal. Like it's just fun in and of itself.
Absolutely.
But it also like that guy now has donuts that he didn't have before, and probably is having a better day now. Yeah. So like, is that worth it? Like, is that internally to me? Like, is that worth it to me?
Yeah.
To like, I just want to feel that all the time.
Totally.
Like, I just want to feel like I'm able to go out of my way to make someone's day better, just because.
100%.
And honestly, even regardless of who they are, like you can take the label of less active out of that story, and it's still as the exact same. 100%. Like I love that, Matt. Great story. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, glad you made it through. Glad you're here to tell us, Hale. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Like, and I agree, because I find, like, just to your point, Ella, too. Like sometimes, or at least in the past, or at least I think maybe culturally, it's just I think the narrative of like oh, like you have to, you know, we're gonna do this ministering program so that you guys can bring more people to Zion. Which again, like in a sense, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think for people maybe who already have a bad taste of the church in their mouth, or maybe even Christ, it's really hard to be, for lack of a better term, turned on by that. Right? And turn on to the church or turn on to Christ, because they're like, I'm like, oh, they have ulterior motives, so why am I going to talk to them? Right? Like what you said, like, you know.
You get the random text and you're like, well, I know why this song goes.
Yeah, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right? Like what you said earlier. So, and I think, because even it's interesting. I think my dad's the bishop now in our ward back home in Nova Scotia, and my mom was telling this story about I think, I don't know if it was a wedding or if it was like what the event was, but my dad saw someone who had recently just kind of like gone less active and wasn't, I don't think they really saw themselves as members anymore. But he just kind of went up to them and was like, hey, how's it going? Like, what's going on? And I think my mom was with her, with my dad. And she could just tell, like, that this woman was a little bit awkward, a little bit like weird, and just felt a little bit like just off-putted maybe.
Yeah.
Or my dad's whole intention, and I know my dad, he's,
We love Ethan.
Shout out to Ethan McLennan.
You guys are extremely similar.
Thanks, Pops. But like he had no intention of like, trying to seduce them back into the arms of the church or any of this. Like, it's like, no, he just loved this person. They used to be really good friends. Super happy to see them. And I think part of it was that like their awkwardness was like, oh, like maybe he's trying to. And I think it's just interesting that some, like, I think more often that's the case where people just, even if they're less active or anyone outside the church, it's not. I mean, sometimes it certainly is, but I think often there's an insecurity of separating yourself. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of nuance there.
Yeah.
But I just think it's very interesting where often the intent is good.
I love that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just hyping up Max.
Okay.
Like that point.
So I hope that this is like related enough.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
But just that whole idea of like you're going out of your way and you're showing that love, and this is something that they've been saying. I keep using the phrase like said from the pulpit, but like they've been saying this like for a while that like, like just kind of let people do their thing, like, but just the way that you deal with that is you just show kindness. Like if someone in your family is like
100%
left or whatever, like it's like that is less important to you than showing them Christ-like love.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that's because what heals a damaged relationship with Christ is Christ-like love.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, it's not going to heal by like, well, maybe you forgot about 3rd Nephi. Like, maybe you forgot about this, or whatever. Like, or even just like, anyway, I just like that we're kind of talking about like, let's not make it numerical. Let's make it. And there's a place for like setting goals of like, well, let's try to reach out to this many people.
100%.
Without goals, you don't do anything.
But we internalize a lot like, oh, well, I'm getting so much out of this that we sometimes forget that people can have, because of the nature of like mortality, they can have a damaged relationship with Christ and with the church and with members of the church and with ideas like that we believe are true. Like, and so hitting them with those, like they're going to see those ideas when they see you coming, right? Like they're going to see this thing that they disagree with.
Yeah, a bit of a
but
proverbial.
Then if you're just like,
100%.
It's kind of nice to be transparent.
And it's not even
makes
like
you real.
Yeah, and it's not like you don't even need to address those. Like just being like, hey, like you're still a person. Like I still care about you.
Still love you. You're still dope.
Sending you some memes. Like like it could be even like small things like that. Like
100%.
Like cutting off contact and being awkward about it like doesn't help anyone. Like, but I also don't want to discount like people have gone through some crazy stuff and sometimes
totally and it, it can be pretty damaging. Like
there's nuance, like you were saying.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like there's definitely extremes. Like especially there's definitely extremes. There's trauma. There's abuse. People will use the church to abuse. Like it's bad. There can be definitely. But anyway, I know what you're saying.
Perfect people.
But just like I think that the other, like you mentioned patience earlier, and just like let people have that time. Yeah. If they need that space. The Christ-like thing to do might be just like Jesus Christ didn't talk to Paul or Saul at that time when he was alive.
Yeah. Like
he waited until after the crucifixion, after some Christians got like pummeled by Saul, and then that's when he like was, and he could have appeared any time, and it was like that moment because that was right for him. So like everyone will have their moment. Everyone will have an opportunity, a chance. Yeah. Don't force that. Like, do we believe that?
Yeah.
Like, and in the meantime, like, you change as you show this person love without expecting anything.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then they like
you're Christ-like. Like,
absolutely.
That's what you get out of it.
And that's kind of the ultimate goal, isn't it? To become more like Christ.
Yeah.
Right. And if nothing more, if that's what you get out of it, then that's like all the more power to you.
Money.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I've always believed in this, kind of like what you're saying in terms of patience. Like, just you gotta show up, right? And if that doesn't mean that they come back into the fold, or like, you know, however you want to put it, like, it's okay as long as you show up,
like it's
right?
not a failure.
Yeah, and I think like you know, I think leading by example, I think is that's it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you have to just be that light in order for people to realize, and even if they don't, but even if they realize, like hey, like I really like dealing with that person. If that guides them to Christ, or if that just means that you get to be a piece of peace in their lives, then
that's actually dope.
that's in of itself is great.
Yeah, and I like. You just made me think about this thing. Just came to my mind, and it's just this idea that like, with my friends that aren't in the church, and with people that maybe are like on the edge or whatever, like obviously like the way that Christ dealt with that was like different than how he dealt with the inside. Like if someone's struggling with their testimony, like I'm breaking open the books, I'm doing like you know, like they're in it enough that is meaningful to them. They're not gonna see it in some way and push them away. If someone outside of the faith or on kind of the outgrounds that are my friend, like I want to treat them in such a way that if they suddenly express interest in the church, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah.
Because
totally.
it's that means that it's like God's timing.
Yeah.
It's like, or because there's also nuance there where it's like you might have an impression that like he's going through a really hard time. Do you want to help me? It's like
sure, yeah.
But so much of that, like you said, like it is like we put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't do anything. Like it really is.
Who knows this?
God who does the bringing back. Whether or not that happens, it's God who makes that change.
Totally.
Like to put that pressure on us is holding ourselves in higher regard than maybe we ought.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I love how pragmatic I feel like this discussion has been on like really implementable ways to do this. We've talked about today. We've talked about having that patience, having that grace, genuinely just being happy. Like that story with your dad, like just showing that genuine kindness, and like you said, Matt, not expecting anything out of it other than at the very least you're gonna have an experience that's gonna bring you closer to Christ. And if they have one as well, then all the better. Yeah. Wow. Well, this is
hopefully
awesome.
we're feeling a little less confused.
I know I am actually. I had questions I didn't answer today.
Good stuff.
Well, Max, thank you so
dude.
much.
Dude, thanks for having me. This is awesome. This is so cool. It's fantastic. I could like keep talking about this for hours with you guys, man. This is like, or even just in general. So
let us know.
We could get a Max part 2.
I would love Max.
That'd be sweet. That'd be dope, man.
So much wisdom.
Right back at you guys, man.
He'll be back for season 2 for sure.
And maybe by that time we'll have Simon Allison. Who knows?
Yeah, bring on the man, the myth, the legend.
Simon. Well, this is Ella. And you just listened to
Confused as You Are.